Cafe. My name is Belinda Doveston, and it is, as always, wonderful that you are here with me for our weekly I Ching forecast for the week commencing the 6th of July 2026. Our first full weekly for July. If you've not yet done so, the monthly is out. Have a look at the wonderful acceleration energy and the leadership and grouping energy that we are being asked to tap into in July. Last week we had quite a round out of quite an intense month. I must say June was a bit bruising, a bit frustrating. We had that Hexagram 12 standstill again with that little changing line that says in the midst of standstill the door opens, the opportunity comes, and we need to reach through the door and mobilize to seize it. With Hexagram 20, contemplation, bringing us the awareness of perspective, or strategy, of understanding how things fit together, and being elevated and being an elevated beacon for others to look up to. Okay, so for you last week, where did you continue to feel that standstill energy of things being stopped and obstructed? Or where perhaps did you experience that changing line of the door suddenly opening? And I had that. I had an issue that has been sitting and sitting and sitting and sitting for the longest time, and then randomly an opportunity came up that helped to relieve it. The relief is not complete, but the opportunity came in and I saw it and I thought, this changing line, the door is open, portable door, go for it. What a wonderful blessing to have that foresight and be able to see it when it emerges, and being able to act from a place like that was really a reminder of how valuable this journey is. Even if you get nothing out of it, I get a lot out of it personally every week. Okay, let's get into it. This week commencing the 6th of July, where are we going? What are we focusing on? We have Hexagram 2, the receptive this week. Okay, we do have changing lines, all right? So receptive is the mother. It's earth, it's holding, it's grounding. It's all about receiving and holding and nurturing and caring for others. We think about the role of earth, dark earth, it just visualizes dark, rich, alluvial substance with all these nutrients and all these plants broken down and ready for these new roots and this new life and this new germination. Okay, so the earth is this kind of nutrient dense place, this dark holding space where the seed, the germination of new ideas can be supported. All right. This week we are the earth. Okay, we aren't the seed doing our thing. Okay, we are holding and nurturing and responding to the needs of our environment. You know, when you have a plant growing in earth, all the resources are there. The plant needs that nitrogen. Okay, good. The plant needs water. Good. Here's some water. There's a response to the needs of the moment, to what is growing in front of you. Okay, whether that's in a work environment, in your home environment, what is growing within you? What is that plant that is germinating? Okay, and what do we do to bring nutrients to that thing? How do we support its growth? We're not coming up with new ideas this week. Okay, what we are doing is we are nurturing and protecting and honoring the ideas that are in front of us already, holding that space and providing the right environment for growth to occur. We are all mothers this week, all right? We're a cotton thing in the womb, okay, and we're providing all the nourishment. I often think of babies in the womb as being vampires because they will always get what they need first, to the absolute detriment of the mother if the mother's not getting the right nutrients from food or whatever. That thing will suck the woman dry, okay? It's that idea, right? We are providing the calcium, okay? We're providing the blood and the energy and the water. Like, we are providing these nutrients to this thing that we are incubating. We are growing and holding within it. Even if we can't see this plant popping out and flourishing and photosynthesizing, okay? We are holding it in the womb, okay? That is what this week is about. 2 changing lines in the first and the fourth position. So in the first position, all right, there are some resources that talk about the beginnings of the crystallization of energy. Because remember that this energy of this holding is like the earth. It's the manifestation of the physical. Okay, it's not the idea, it's the translation of the idea into physical reality, the execution, operational execution. And so with changing line 1, being something that's new that's coming in, some resources talk about the crystallization of the idea, the formation of the idea starting to crystallize into shape, all right, starting to manifest into a structure. The usual, most common way of looking at this changing line is that where there is the first sign of frost, winter ice is to come. All right. What that means is that when you start to feel the slight crunchiness under your shoes when you walk outside, you know that what's coming is winter. All right. And you can make preemptive steps towards the freezing cold situation that comes later in the cycle. You know, when you have that little bit of crunch right under your foot, or you see the little bit of frost on your car window, you know we are heading towards winter. We're heading towards a darker time where things ice up and slow down, all right? Things turn. What we can do is preempt that. So the line is saying we can take action now to preempt that. What does that mean? Because, you know, winter cannot be changed. There are things we can do to mitigate winter, but we can't change the fact that winter's coming. But what this hexagram line is bringing to us is when we see the first signs of decay, that first crunch under the foot, or the first sense that there is frost on the windows of the car, right? We know that if we let this decay continue, right, it's going to go into full-blown freeze-over situations, okay? We can mitigate that, and we can nip the issue in the bud now, okay? So where you find chaos, decay, a lack of clarity, poor communication, habitual issues in your team, in your home, old habits that are starting to come back up, it's where we notice those first signs. We go, wow, okay, if we let this continue, what we have down the line is total decay, and we can nip it in the bud now. What this is asking us to do is, as we go through this week of holding the space and being the womb bearer, okay, is to be really plugged into what's happening around, right? Really tuned in to what are people saying, what are issues. If you're noticing issues in your workplace or in your home environment, where they come from, is there something new that's now starting to emerge, a habit that has crept in that's perhaps not helpful? Those are the types of things we need to be tuned into. Where you perhaps start to see ongoing conflicts between two team members, don't leave it, right? It's the first sign of a wider issue that could take out the harmony of your whole team. Think about what our focus for July is, the hexagrams for July. We nip it in the bud. That's what we need to do in this first changing line. In position 4, all right, the little line that goes with this changing line says tied up in a sack, right? Something tied up in a sack and held tight. What this refers to is there are challenges. There are some challenges that we are currently facing or that are new that emerge this week. All right. What we have to do is tie ourselves up in a sack. All right. This is like hexagram 36, darkening of the light, where we had that last month, right, where we go underground. We tie things up for a bit. Okay. We go quiet, we go reserved and cautious. Just like for the previous changing line, all right, where there's frost underfoot and we are cautious in how we go about moving forward and nipping it in the bud, this line is also about caution. We are cautious about what we say, what we do, what we reveal, all right, what we communicate. We keep it tied up in a sack, all right. We keep our heads down and we keep ourselves reserved, withdrawn, all right. Just a little bit of breathing space given the challenges that are around us. If you're in an environment where you feel the urge to tell the whole story to somebody about something that's going on with you, or to spill the beans, or to gossip, or to just vent where you are, zip it, okay, tied up in the sack, right? Keep it under wraps. There's something around this week where opening up that bag is like Pandora's box. You just don't know what comes out or what the repercussions are of just blah. A little bit of caution, a little bit of reserve this week, all right? In both changing lines, is what is being called to us to do, to focus on as we hold the space, as we anchor the womb and we ground our energy, ground the energy of those around us. With those two lines in their position, because we went from a complete doubling of Earth, all right, and the lines are in exactly the same position, which means we have a new hexagram, a doubling of thunder. Thunder on the top, thunder on the bottom, all right. Doubling of thunder, hexagram 51, shock. This hexagram is the sudden, shocking energy of an electric storm, of the thunder and the lightning, okay. Boom, and the light and the sound. It's a sudden shake-up. Now, the shake-up might be a sudden acceleration forward, all right? You have been waiting for something, and then suddenly it happens, and it goes, oh, it's terrifying. Okay, there's like a whole sudden lot of things to pay attention to. It's a shake-up of your consciousness and your awareness, all right? So that might be a positive, where it just gets us into action, but there's initially that feeling of, a bit of overwhelm and, it's all just too much. It can also be a shake-up, all right, with something difficult, okay, and challenging to deal with, something surprising and unexpected. This hexagram does bring a sudden change in event, okay, a sudden thing that comes up for us to deal with, both positive or negative. And irrespective of what shakes up for us this week, the advice is the same. The most important thing we need to do is not lose our minds. You've heard me say this about this hexagram, that when everything is going woof buff all over around us and the lightning bolts are landing and the thunder is booming, our task is to stay absolutely focused on the thing that's in front of us, right? All the drama, put all the drama aside, find a way of going into your center and staying focused on the precious thing you are carrying. You're carrying a precious egg from one place to the next. This is your project, your goal, your process, your health plan, whatever it is that is precious to you at this time. You are holding this egg, and no matter what's going on around you, let this precious thing be your guide, be your focus point that you come back to, holding this egg. Do not drop the egg, okay? Carry it safely from A to B. So it might be a week of lots of shake-ups, unexpected twists and turns, all right? This is a crazy story that's going to potentially unfold in our lives this week. And whatever it is, positive shake-ups, negative shake-ups, our first reaction is, overwhelmed. Okay, we have this shock energy, but what's really important is do not drop the egg. Okay, so this week, no matter what suddenly comes left field into your life or doesn't, stay focused on the thing that's important to you. And I think it's interesting when we look at these two hexagrams together. We have this very supportive, nurturing earth energy, and we have this highly electric thunder energy. And I think of grounding the energy. When you have a lightning strike, it's the grounding, it's trying to dissipate this pent-up energy, right? And so in a way, having these two hexagrams together makes perfect sense to me, because we are grounding that electric current, right? And I think of the big craze at the moment of these grounding mats. I have no idea if they work or don't work, but they seem to have got into my feed, an algorithm somehow this week. You put them into electricity, you plug them in, and they supposedly ground you or ground your energy. I don't know what's really going on with them. But I thought of this image of these grounding mats, thinking about these two hexagrams together, because what we try to do is put the two stories together, hexagram 1, hexagram 2, and we find a way to coagulate them right into a single idea. And I think that grounding your electric current this week is a powerful way of thinking about how we could bridge hexagram 2, the receptive, caution, and hexagram 51, shock, shake-up, doubling of thunder, electric thunder, how we ground the thunder. We provide the grounding, okay, and the grounding can run that current through and dissipate the energy, because that energy is a build-up, okay, of stress and tension. And when we have a thunderstorm, one of the wonderful things, once it's over, is how clear the air is. We can smell that beautiful smell of rain, okay? And we can feel the air is cleared. And when it's building up to the thunderstorm, you can feel this energy is thick, Okay, thick, 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 thick. And so this week has a cleansing process built into it, an opportunity to clear the air, to release the stuck energy, to just degauss, okay? And that is a wonderful thing for us to work with. So ground our electric current. Grounding is the way that we channel that electric current in the right way, in a safe way. We have a grounding wire and a plug, okay, to safely channel electricity. We don't have the grounding, we don't have the safety. And that's an important part of understanding how we can maximize this week's flow. Thank you so much for being with me. If this was valuable, a thumbs up, a like would be super. And of course, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the bell, do all that stuff. You know what to do. And I look forward to getting stuck into July. Very different energy as we start off the month than we had in June. Let's maximize the wonderful opportunity in front of us. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.